How addictive is that video game? As of 2019, the term video game addiction has become a full-fledged medical diagnosis. As a parent, what do you need to know to keep gaming a fun pastime and not a full-blown addiction with your child? What makes video games so enticing and enjoyable for their players? Can you as a parent use the addictive draw of that video game to get your child to do what you want them to do? We'll explore that and more in this video. Hello and welcome to the Level Up Mental Health channel, where we talk about how technology impacts your interactions with loved ones, and I give you some actionable steps on how to have strong relationships in a digitally distracted world. I'm Dr. Mike, child and adult psychiatrist. If you've been following along in our playlist, we now want to take a look at a video game's addictiveness as our next step in determining if you should buy a video game for your child. You need to consider a child's tendencies towards video game addiction and the attributes of the game that make it both appealing and addicting. I will have a follow-up list video of 10 reasons why video games are addictive to its players. Remember, kids don't just decide to keep playing because they're trying to be defiant or disobey you, and games don't become addicting to people merely because game companies are evil. You must understand that games are designed to be fun, and kids naturally want to have fun. The word addiction is a very interesting word for video games. Many people seek out addictive games. Sometimes they literally search addictive games on Google. Many gamers equate addictiveness with fun. We enjoy video games because they can draw us in and bring us out of our real world and into a new fantasy world where we have a greater degree of control compared to the real world. When a gamer uses the word addictive to describe a game, what they really mean is usually immersive or engaging. And it can even put you into a state of flow. Flow is defined by author Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi as being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. The ego falls away, time flies, every action, movement, and thought follows inevitably from the previous one. Like playing jazz, your whole being is involved and you're using your skills to the utmost. This is a good thing, a desired effect. But when a good thing becomes the only thing and gets in the way of the rest of our life, it starts to become a problem. It starts to become effectively an addiction. The term addiction can be good or a bad thing depending on the context. If video game play is getting in the way of living a fulfilling and rich life, then it's a bad thing. But if you're bored or you need to decompress after having a hard day, a video game that's addictive takes you along for a journey, and that can be a good thing. These games can sometimes be a driver of coping strategies that your child's subconsciously experimenting with. Modern games are designed to get the player to keep playing. Make sure you subscribe to see the next video, and we're going to talk more about that. Game designers use many psychological mechanisms to hook both children and adults alike. As a parent, you must understand the power and the draw of this. Here's a tip. Your child will benefit greatly from external reminders of their time limits. Kids don't just come stock with a reminder alarm to let them know that they've been playing for too long. Kids just know that they're having fun, and when they're playing, why would they want to stop? A lot of hassle can be prevented with a simple 15-minute warning near the end of a child's playtime. From a parent's standpoint, the level of addictiveness a video game carries can often determine how much conflict can come up when trying to get your child to move on to something else, like homework, sleep, or chores, or getting them to engage in other offline activities. A game being immersive is not necessarily a bad thing, and it can be a strong tool for parents to use to teach about limits and time management. I believe that gaming can be used as a tool to teach a child self-control and responsibility, among other pro-social behaviors. But it's your responsibility as the parent to help them learn this by setting playtime limits and setting conditions for them to earn their playtime. A pretty basic yet effective example would go something like this. You can play Fortnite for 2 hours once you finish your homework and show me that your homework's done. You may even see that they get their homework done faster and it starts to become a regular habit for them. So here's today's review questions. What properties does the game have that make it addictive? Make sure that you see our next video to see the 10 things that make video games addictive to people. Does your child have difficulty coming off of a game beyond just a few reminders? Has your child had problems in the past with addictive types of games? Can you actually use the addictive nature of the game to stimulate pro-social behaviors, such as getting them to do chores or getting them to do their homework? If this was helpful, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, check the description below to see the accompanying blog post and free downloadable worksheet from my website. Next week, we're going to take a look at a list of 10 things that video games use to draw players in and keep them playing. So make sure that you stay tuned for that one. As always, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm Dr. Mike. I'll see you next time.